Hey, what's up, everybody? What up, all my beaters? Welcome to back to the Bits and Beats podcast. Yeah, this week Ronnie and I are doing an episode without a guest because I had a lot of gear stolen. So while we're working that out, we're trying to keep the pod going and keeping it strong. And we answered a bunch of questions from you guys. Everything from circumcisions to favorite Filipino foods to dating questions. Deal breakers, got a marriage proposal in my DMs, and Ronnie and I bonded over Castaway.
Oh God, such a great movie.
Yeah, the movie Castaway, guys. Yep, we brought it back. I've been on the road, so it's nice to be home and doing the podcast again. I also have some show dates coming up in Houston, Chicago, Las Vegas, Spokane, Tampa, and Hartford, Connecticut. Look on my website for that. Anything else to go into, Ronnie?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think this intro and outro is going to be so much shorter because we're not introducing a guest. We're kind of just like kicking it. So
yeah.
Cool, man. Well, hey, enjoy the episode, you guys. Ooh, yeah. This is some soft melody. Yeah, this week, welcome to the Bits and Beats podcast. And this is a very special, unique week because we're doing acoustic guitar. Our guest is myself and Ronnie. It's sort of like a self-care week. We're interviewing ourselves and going deeper into ourselves. Yeah. Exploration. Also, all my stuff got stolen, so that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, about that.
Dude, the podcast thing I did, I was a guest on the Asian Not Asian podcast this morning. And the way Fumi introduced it, he was like, dude, you got robbed.
Yeah.
And I've never called it that this whole time. I was like, yeah, my car got broken into, but like, dude, I fucking got robbed, you know? And so that's, we're going to talk about that today. Let's talk about that. This feels like such a different vibe.
Yeah, it's like stripped down. It's like unplugged. Podcast unplugged.
And it feels like an educational TV show when you do guitar behind something. Like there's some lesson to gather from each thing. Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's like, well, how are you doing? First and foremost, let's check in with you.
I'm good. I'm in the Philippines.
You still are
like
in the Philippines.
I still am in the Philippines. Yeah, I might be here for a little bit.
Are you in Makati?
No, I'm in Subic Bay, where I'm born and raised. This is on like the north end, the beach side. I'm a naval base, actually. This is the.
I remember.
The naval base.
Subic is like all naval base. There's a Zubik. Did you have been to Zubik?
Oh my God, that's so.
The zoo.
Yeah. How do you know that? That's so weird.
I've been back to the Philippines like I won't say every year, but like almost every year since I was 16.
So you've been here?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I did the Zubik thing where they throw the chicken.
Yo, dude, the
chicken breast on top of your. So for people, you're on a Jeep, like almost like what the fuck is that movie? Jurassic Park, where they're going through the thing. And you're in the Jeep, and then like instead of like a Stegosaurus, whatever, there's a straight up tiger that's just roaming around. He's kind of tired because he's like a show guy. Like he's like the guy who plays like Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. And he's like, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Like I wanted to be an actor. Yeah. This tiger wanted to be a real tiger in the wild. So he's just like resentful, and he's like walking over, and then they throw the chicken breast, like the raw chicken breast.
Yes, that's right.
But it's not like the chicken breast we get at the grocery store. It's like, wow, this guy literally just fucking killed this chicken and threw it, like it's all bloody. They throw it on top of your Jeep. That way the tiger can go on top and like eat on top of your caged in Jeep. That feels, I don't remember it, but I remember as a kid thinking like, this is scary as fuck.
So I was just talking to a friend about that place because in retrospect, that place is wild. Like I couldn't believe that it's actually still open. Like I drove by it today. I'm like, so you know how you just said that they throw a chicken breast?
Yeah.
Well, before they did that, it was a live chicken. They would throw a live chicken on a wire, and then I think what happened is that it was a little too violent and a little too real. Because like you were watching a life end, and like the guy driving would see it like 10 times a day, like a chicken die.
Yeah.
And also those tigers, you make a good point because like they look like not motivated or whatever.
They're tired, dude. They're tired. When I saw him walking around, I was like a little bit like I felt bad for the I felt bad for the tiger.
Well, the thing is that they eat constantly because of the ride. So they're like the fattest tigers like out here.
Yeah.
And one other crazy thing is that is like 10 minutes away from my subdivision, and we like in high school we've always been scared of like if the tigers get out.
So that's a real thing out there.
Well,
you
yeah,
have to worry about tiger escapes.
Yeah, and if it, it's like, in whatever suburbs in the States, if there was a tiger problem, that's different than like a raccoon problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Thinking of a tiger escape. Never had to think about that. Yeah, no. I think those tigers remind me of like, I think of like if Tony the tiger was like depressed and like maybe had like a drug problem or something. And he's like
in the green room smoking cigarettes and
yeah, like they're great. He's like, they're all right, I guess.
Yeah. This is raspy from cigarettes and whiskey.
Dude, Zubik, man. And I do remember people like telling me about their military experiences in Subic. And like me and my brother used to say, I don't want to give people the wrong image of the Philippines too. I'm making it sound like it's this like warlord country, like underworld.
It's not really, no,
because dude, the Philippines also is so nice. And like, I like when I went to like when you go to BGC, Bonifacio Global City or the Fort, it's just like one long mall. There's so much wealth. All the wealthiest Asians are there, Koreans, and Chinese, and the Filipinos are rich and stuff. And so like when I say these stories, it's because they're the more interesting ones to me.
They are.
But it is that too, where it's like also the super wealthy area of like high rises and like some of them are like living nicer than some of the Americans here who would be like thinking it's just a third world country. You know?
Yeah.
So I want to let people know that as well. Like in your face, like we're rich too.
The weird thing about the Philippines is that there's literally almost no middle class. So that place that you're talking about, BGC, it's literally this blocked off like area that was, it was the Philippine military that was sold to these corporations, and that's why they built it in like the span of 10 years, like Dubai or whatever. That's
why it's called like it reminds me of Dubai, but it's Fort Bonifacio converted like a military fort converted into all this stuff.
And it's so funny because that area represents the Philippines so much because that area is like super rich. And then there's literally a wall. And then it's like the slums right there, right like, next to each other.
Maybe an overused like reference, but it's like that Lion King thing where he's like, everything the light touches is yours. And that shadowy elephant graveyard is like, we don't go over there.
Yeah.
Because I was having dinner at this nice like high-rise restaurant with my family. It was our last day in the Philippines. You could see like literally like all the nice areas, then right over like the slums. Yeah. That's probably a good metaphor for the Philippines. Yeah. Like you said, there's no middle class. It's like extreme wealth right next to like extreme poverty, like coexisting.
Yeah. 100%.
So wild.
It's a great place though.
It's a great
place.
Oh man. Philippines is fun. Okay. So you're in the Philippines. What else to check in on? I mean, I got my stuff stolen.
So yeah, what happened there? You were in San Francisco.
Oh man, I was in San Francisco doing a show. I was in Santa Barbara first and I had to drive straight to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to drop my stuff off where I was staying before the show. So I had to like leave a lot of my luggage in the car, but I kept it in the trunk thinking like, okay, this will be safe. Even though I know like you could get your stuff broken into in San Francisco. And then when I came out after the second show that I did, I saw my right window had been broken into.
Oh my God.
And they stole a luggage that had like my podcasting gear, like comedy recording equipment. But they also stole like my comedy notebooks, a few of them.
Yeah.
And some self-help books I had. Like they took straight up, here it is.
They stole your self-help books. Yeah, they probably need that if they're breaking in at cars.
Yeah. They need to heal. But yeah, like I hope that they healed and have figured out how to not have to need to break into cars. So now I'm still recuperating from all that and like trying to figure out how to keep the podcast stuff going. And I had like an hour stolen from it. Like I had an hour special like recorded, not
That's
like
right.
the produced special, but like just the material. And like talking to the insurance and all that stuff.
Where in San Francisco was that? This is like a PSA.
Oh yeah, dude. It was not in the Tenderloin. It was like on Post and Powell. I have a police report, so I know the exact location.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a big part of the last month, and this is our first podcast back, right?
Yeah, recording, yeah.
Yeah, so that's also why we haven't really, I haven't been able to put out as many clips to like keep up with everything, but we're going to be back on that and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? I watched Coda last night.
Wait, what is
Dude,
this?
I'm still emotional from it today. That's why I was a little bit worried about doing this pod, because I did the Asian Not Asian podcast.
Yeah.
Not like in a bad way, but oh my God, dude. I was like, I thought I was going to cry during that podcast. Because like, we started talking about like vulnerability and emotions, and I was just like, oh shit, I'm still in it. I'm still in it for the movie. It's like, it's so weird. I can't even explain it. It's this girl who's a singer, and like her family is all deaf, and she's 17.
Okay. Is she deaf?
No.
She's not deaf.
So there's like a little bit of a codependency where they really rely on her. And but she's also realizing that she's an amazing singer, and she needs to like.
Is this Korean?
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
No, I think it was a French movie adapted into an American movie.
Okay, gotcha.
I think, yeah. And so she is now figuring out how to pursue her dreams without like abandoning her family. It's like, I guess you'd call it a coming of age story. And dude, you know, like, dude, we're just going to get personal on here. You know, let's slow shit down. Like,
all right, let's do it.
You know, like I watch this, like, you know, when you watch a thing and it hits you in a place, like you start getting emotional. And I was like, oh, it's not just this movie. It's hitting like the compilation of stuff in there. Like, okay, I'm crying because, oh, this girl is coming to her own, all this stuff without revealing too much of the movie. And then it's like old memories come up from when I was like 7 or 17. And I'm like, oh, I'm just like trying to like, it's like you're jerking off to every fantasy that you have at the same time. Whoa. It's like, okay, I want to like cry release everything in this movie theater. And I think that's what happened to me last night. And I was like,
you watch it by yourself?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
see, that's even more personal. Like you're having like a moment to yourself.
There was 2 other couples in there, and they were with people.
You were in public?
I was in public. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I had popcorn, Sour Patch Kids, and a slushie. And that even made me feel more like I was a 17-year-old kid. So, dude, when was the last time you had a good cry? And are you a crier? Are you comfortable with crying?
I don't really cry. Like I cry when it's called upon me to cry.
Wow, that sounds so formal, Ronnie.
I mean, I've been at like funerals and stuff where I feel like it's appropriate for me to cry, but I can't do it. So,
oh, dude, that's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it's disrespectful that I'm not crying. So like I'll like fake cry, but it's just like not happening.
You're like trying to think of all the sad things in your life.
Yeah. Last time I cried, oh man, you know what? You know when the last time I cried was on the plane over here. I was watching a movie on the plane, and I forget what the movie was, but it really didn't matter what the movie was. It's honestly, I do have a thing about like crying on planes, crying on like watching movies on planes, just because it's like, I guess
that's intimate too.
Maybe it's the altitude or whatever.
Dude, I cried to Eat, Pray, Love on the plane. I cried to A Star Is Born on the plane. I remember all of them. And I think it's like, it's weird because you're like, you start crying and then, but there's like someone next to you. So like you try not to move, cry. Cause there was once where I was like, dude, I was like you know, like my shoulders were moving.
Yeah.
Cause you when you cry, you do like the inhale thing. Much.
Yeah.
And so I was like doing that, and I was like, wow, like, and I really, whenever I get a cry, I want to go the hardest. Like I want to go hard into my cry.
You want to go all in.
Yeah, and like I'm almost like mad that I'm in public. It's like, fuck, I wish I could cry even harder right here and like like make the sound.
You should.
Dude, I should on the plane, because it's like, and then if they interrupt me, it's like, it's rude of them.
What's gonna happen?
Like, bro,
honestly,
I don't know. Could you get kicked off the plane for crying? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Crying? No, I don't think so. I think you're good on that.
Yeah, I love a good cry. So even the theater last night, I was like, dude, I wish I could let this out. And I literally planned out, maybe I can go into the car as soon as this is over.
Really?
And do the full cry. It's like I think when a girl...
You were like holding it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Wow, okay. Did you do that?
It's like holding in a fart at a date.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll just do it when I get home.
You got to plan it out.
Yeah. I didn't know because once I got to the car, the moment was gone.
Oh, okay.
But I did see another guy crying.
Really?
And yeah.
Was he by himself?
No, he was on a date. He's on a date.
Oh, man.
So him and his girl were both into it.
I would have loved if like there was just another guy by himself and he was crying and you guys like made eye contact.
Dude.
And then you like sat next to each other, started crying. That
would have been beautiful. But the reality of it was we like kind of made eye contact and like looked away. Dude, you know? And masculinity, you know?
Yeah.
We're getting there though. We're getting there.
You mean at least you made eye contact?
Exactly. We accepted it. I watched Dear Evan Hansen. Speaking of all these cries, you know, I watched Dear Evan Hansen in San Francisco and I was crying during that because I didn't know what it was about. And I was like going through like a depression at the time.
Yeah.
And it was about like, it was like about mental health stuff to like the darkest, deepest extremes of it. And I was like crying a bunch, but the guy next to me was crying too. So it's like being at like really hard. I think it felt like this now we're like competing. Like, no, I'm more sad. No, I'm more sad.
Really hard.
And I remember like, it's like a comedy show where everyone's laughing together, but it's like we're crying together. It's like such a weird... Like we kind of bonded through that, but we didn't say anything. We didn't talk about it at all. Like then when you go up in intermission and go like to the concession stands, it's just weird because it's like now we just go back to our normal life, like as if we weren't just so emotionally naked next to each other.
Yeah, crying is different than laughing, I think.
So yeah, because laughing you can talk about it, right?
That broke me mentally.
It felt like we had a one night stand where we never spoke a word to each other. The entire time, didn't know each other's names, and now we're like walking home, like to each other's cars. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
But so yours was on the plane. What were you watching? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I just realized I was in a 10-day quarantine after the plane, right? In the hotel. I actually did cry watching. I watched a lot of movies. I did cry watching one specific movie, Castaway. I watched it, and I've watched it a million times.
Dude, did you cry those other times?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Wilson separation on the
weird, interesting.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you know, dude.
Yeah. Right.
Wilson. Now he's really alone.
Yeah, but the word what really hits me when he goes, I'm sorry, Wilson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like he tried, but he had to. It's like a selfish thing that he had guilt for because like he was like, I gotta save myself, so I can't save you. You know.
Wow, that's so fascinating.
Man.
That's deep. Tom Hanks was on this interview. They asked him like, "How do you cry on command?" And he said, "Like, do you have a routine, like a practice?" He says, "Yeah, I have something. I have a tool I do, but and kind of he doesn't know if it works every time." And he was saying, "Well, let's say if I did know how to do it every time and it worked every time, I wouldn't be sharing that secret with you." he said that. Like, damn, Tom Hanks, savage. But it made me think of like, I wonder where he goes to.
I mean, I don't really know his upbringing, but he looks like a pretty content guy.
Sure, but I think it might be that what you were talking about, that feeling of you're alone,
he's like channeling,
but also guilt for doing something nice for yourself, and then like nice for yourself, saving your life. I act like it's like going to get a massage. You know, he did something nice for himself, like getting off an island and back into society.
Yeah.
But then letting somebody else down. It's like, it's weird that there's all these different entryways into like the overwhelm of emotion to cry.
Dude, at the end of that movie, when he sees his fiance that has gotten married and has a kid and she's moved on. Yeah. And like, then they're in the rain. Man, and they have to like make that decision, and then they do.
What do they decide? I forget.
Well, what happens is, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you've been cast away on an island for like hella long, dude.
It's like 25 years, something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he yeah, he gets back. He sees her. She couldn't see him at the airport when he arrives. Like she couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he drives by to the house and she's there and they have a moment. They talk and he realizes that she's moved on. He realizes that she also has been like searching for him and his old car is there. And she said, take it. That's your car. He drives out into the street because he's going to go home. And then he stops and he like reverses to go back to the house. And she at the same time is running towards the car because they have the same idea. She gets in the car. Oh no, they're outside in the rain. And they're like, let's go home, you know? She gets in the car and then they realize like, what are we doing? This is not going to happen. This is not a real thing.
Yeah.
And he
like
goes,
they have to move on.
Yeah. And he goes, I got to drop you off. I got to take you home.
Yeah. Oh, it's so weird.
And the last scene of that movie, he's at a literal crossroads.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting, it's an interesting ending because it's funny to like, in this other podcast, we're analyzing Shang-Chi, a movie that just came out.
Yeah.
And you and I are analyzing a movie from 25 years ago.
It's so good, man.
The hot topics of right now. Oh my God.
It's so good.
Yeah, but there is something about it where it's like that cross, because it doesn't have a closed up, hey, this is the ending. Like,
what do you do next?
Of like, what do you do? And it's a thing that was out of your control. There's something so real about that.
This is a great comedy podcast.
Dude, I mean, hey, man, who knows where this is going to go? We're going to touch people vulnerable too. I was talking to Matthew Broussard. He's another comedian. Mm-hmm. We ran into each other at the airport in Denver on each other's layovers. We're talking about podcasts. Like comedy, they're loving like the best of you, right? Like stand up, like you're curating like the best bits. And then like on a podcast, it's like, they're just like listening to you. They're just like hanging out with you now.
Yeah.
Should we go into questions and stuff?
Yeah. Well, did you want to talk about that show you did, the Filipino show?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I just did the Ford Theater in LA. It was like a 1,200 seater. And it was just like legends of like the current like top Filipino artists in each industry. Apple Diap was one of the producers with Ted Benito. It's like another like just legend in the Filipino scene of the production world. And it was AJ Raphael, VJ Rosales of the Philharmonic, Jules Aurora, just amazing singer, Lila Hart, Eric Esteban, Rex Navarrete, the OG.
The OG.
Who else was that? Ruby Ibarra. Do you listen to her?
Okay. No.
Oh, dude, she's a great rapper. Nump accompanied her. I'm trying to like make sure I shout out everybody. Ella J. Bosco from Birds of Prey. I think it's the name of it. And I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. But
if you don't name them, you hate them.
Dude, exactly. They're like, what the fuck? But yeah, dude, it was so sick. And it was cool to see all the Filipinos come out and like.
Yeah, I saw some that stuff online. That looked like a crazy good show.
It was
like,
Cabo Modern. Cabo Modern was there too. And then I got Jasmine Raphael, also choreographer. AJ Raphael's sister.
Did you end up? What kind of set did you do? Did you do clean?
I did fairly clean. I did clean, but I also did Asian Guys Can Smash.
Okay, all right.
Which is like because another comedian went on there and did like Pretty Blue, Pretty Dirty.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just like, I could do Asian Guys Can Smash and it's fine. And there was a kid there, and her mom messaged me after the show saying like it was great. So
okay, nice.
She was like nervous I was gonna go dirtier, but I went fairly clean.
All right.
Yeah. Should we do questions?
Let's do questions.
Somebody asked this, and I posted it to my story yesterday from Instagram, was about the like rite of passage to manhood circumcision that people get. But I think they're talking about a very specific thing because some people get circumcised as kids. Some people, I guess, get it when they're adults. My dad got it as an adult.
Really?
Like a late circumcision.
Like how old? How old are we talking?
I don't remember. I think he was a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought like 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 50 is too late, man. At that point, just you gotta accept it. Yeah. At 50, you have a midlife crisis, or like I identify as a man without a foreskin. Yeah,
I would do it.
At 50?
If I didn't, I'd be like,
are you circumcised? We've never talked about this.
We never talked about this. Yeah.
When we just signed on to do this together.
Yeah, we should have. I am. I got it.
You are
rather late. I got it in the 3rd grade. So it was like 9 or 8 or 9.
So why? So I'm not circumcised.
Oh, you're not?
Nah, dude, I have the hood.
Oh, okay.
I have the hood on if it rains. Yeah, that's what they call it, old school. I got the vintage look.
Yeah.
And I do think like getting it late, it's just totally up to you, right? It's like any I think it's totally normal to be circumcised. I think it's totally normal to not be circumcised. It's just up to the person of why they're doing it. But I don't think anyone needs to do it like late if they hadn't done it. As somebody who's not circumcised, like I've lived a perfectly healthy, happy sexual life and it's been good. So that's how I feel about it. I don't know that anyone needs to.
Is it a plus? Age. I hear that it's like a plus. I don't know if it's true.
In what way?
Like there's more sensation. You feel more.
I don't know because I like. You mean like emotionally? No, I'm just kidding. I am a very sensitive guy, so maybe that's the reason. I don't know because I have nothing to compare it to. Like I can't like.
That is true.
Like I don't know, peel it back. That's not the right word, but I can't like peel it back for like a month and then compare what my life was like.
You like a rubber band.
Yeah. So yeah, like a hair tie.
She asked, I'm like, it's an experiment. I'm doing some research. I think maybe there, if that's what they say out there, maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe like it feels better. But one of the things like situation wise, it's like more so people are like curious. Do you know what I'm saying? So they ask questions?
Yeah, so like they want to find out things about it. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
All right.
I'm gonna reveal too much on there. Okay, so next question. First of all, the Philippines question. I don't know this person's first name, but it says Stambaki 2000 on Instagram. Okay, the next one is what would your ideal life look like? It's from this is a question from Faye. I always journal out 4 categories of my life. It's the category of love, health, passion, and wealth. And love being like my relationships, my spirituality, family, love life, friendships, and like my relationship with myself. I think it's like, I want to have like a family that's like healthy and we have like good boundaries and I have enough time to be with them and have my ideal career where I'm creatively fulfilled, doing the projects I want to do and like to the best of my ability and like it reaching people. And then health and wealth wise, like I want to be like physically and mentally healthy. So like I do jujitsu and stuff right now. So I want to have time to like do that stuff, meditate, refill myself. And wealth wise, like it's just that constant word of like abundance. We talked about this in the Joey Gila episode.
Yeah.
Where like I want to have, it's that thing where like I have enough coming into my life that I can also share it with others, that like overflow. So,
yeah. Gotcha.
What about you, man? Ideal life.
I could tell you thought about this a lot more than I have. But I mean, I don't really think about it in categories. I think about it. I would think more about like options. Like my thing is that I'm always making sure that options are available. And I don't want to be limited. I feel like that's like the core. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
More options are better than none. You know?
It sounds like freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom to choose and have the options to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that because it's not necessarily like specific. Like you're trying to focus on a very specific thing. It's like just having a feeling of freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find another question. Is it too aggressive if women try to kick it to you? What does that mean? Does that mean like holler at you?
Kick it to you?
Yeah. Have you heard that phrase?
Kick it to you. I heard kick it with you. Kick it like hang out. Kick it with you. But kick it to you is like give you the mic or something.
Yeah, like kick it to you, like pass you the rock. Like,
yeah,
this is a basketball saying. I am imagining she says like hit on you. I like it. Personally, I like when a woman is direct because there is a lot of pressure on the guy to be forward and come up with all the things. Like Bumble, the girl approaches you.
That's right.
I like when a girl like goes for it. But I don't know if that's just me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, you know, I have like friends like that are girls and they do this. They always like talk to me about like these guys that they wish that they were with, which is like a total possibility, but they don't necessarily make moves. And I'm always like, just, you know, open that door for yourself if you want it. I don't understand why you can't, you know? And I find it great if a girl is able to do that because nice. It defines confidence.
Yeah, exactly. It's confidence in the girl and she knows what she wants. I feel very like It's flattering too. And then from there, I feel more likely to reciprocate. Like if I'm feeling something, like to go 100% instead of like have to play it cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joseph asks, do you think small dicks are still lovable in this time of radical acceptance? First of all, that was a joking question, but I just wanted to throw that out there. It's so funny. Yeah, like somebody, like who would lead that campaign? You know how for like women, it can be like, you're brave, your body is beautiful. There's not like no one's going to front the campaign right now of like, hey, small dicks are beautiful and I've lived with this thing my whole life. But I mean, if they did it, I would respect that. It's great.
I wouldn't like volunteer to be the head of it.
No,
you know what I mean?
It would be so hard to get signups for that group too. All these guys being like, no, I support the cause. Like, I'm not in it though.
Yeah, like, no, I get it. Yeah,
I get that, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the funding is crazy for some reason. I don't know why. Anonymous funding.
Yeah, so much. Like, 100% of our funding is anonymous. In fact, ways you handle down days when you feel you're not as far in your career as you would like. This is from Anna Maria. Man, that's a good question because that like...
It's a great question.
I think what I've come to now is I saw this quote in this book that was like, act like you chose your life. So, anything that, let's say you would look at as like a negative, like, let's say you have like trauma from being a kid or like a relationship with your parents, not as far along in your career as you'd like. I think like for me, acting like I chose that would be saying, okay, I'm doing all these great things. I believe in where I'm at, but I'm supposed to be in this moment in my movie and I'm supposed to learn something in this. Maybe it's like gratitude for the things that are here so that when that thing does come, I'm actually happy for it. Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's like, I'm going to get even better at this thing for when it does come. Or maybe to learn that thing is not meant for me. So for some reason, that's been a really powerful thing for me lately. But, but also I don't really know. I don't have the answer completely of like, because I don't think that feeling is wrong either. To not feel like to want to be further. But I also don't want to like, if I died today, feel like I didn't do enough. So I want to like have that balance of like this and that, accepting like where I'm at and like looking at all as awesome, but like wanting to achieve the big dreams as well. Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I mean, my thing has always been, my struggle is always been time running out. And I feel like it's very common, especially like in our generation. Like I just feel like I have to look at examples, like I see some of my favorite artists and stand-ups and producers, and they've, made their break in the after middle age and their life, they sometimes you need that rough beginning to get to that second part, which is which I'm totally for. So,
and in some ways, I guess that's I like that answer, man, because it is like sometimes where you're at, it's necessary. Like it will reveal more to you of like what you should be doing, who you are, all that stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's a cool one. I like that. Okay. What would you have done career-wise if comedy or entertainment wasn't an option? Dude, you want to take this one first? I'm going to answer them all first. I'm interested in yours.
Well, I've only recently gone into like this real field of like comedy entertainment through podcasts. Yeah. Before that, I was still doing just like the marketing content for fashion.
So you probably would have stayed in that realm.
I probably would have.
Yeah, I guess that one's very realistic too. It's more so like, it's not if like comedy wasn't an option. It's like if you didn't realize that you wanted to like be deeper in the comedy world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I remember learning about that story for you. It was like really unique, getting into comedy. Yeah, I think, it's funny. There's a world where I would have been like a beach bum surfer dude, yoga, like meditation stuff. Yeah, like totally like yogi monk bro dude named like Dirk. Derek, but like I can't even do anything.
Is it Dirk or Derek?
It's Derek, but like one sound.
He's so chill that he only moves his jaw once to say something.
Yeah. I don't have time to. Oh yeah, cool, man. Like my name's Dar.
Dar, man.
Yeah. You know, honestly, like the thing I'm really interested in is like serious music.
Oh.
Yeah, I see a world where I was just like a singer, just like doing music full time.
Interesting.
But
I felt like if you did that, you would have gravitated towards making funny
anyway.
Stuff for yourself.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like when we talk about choosing your life, I think I was meant to go through like comedy music, if whether or not, because I think I am going to pursue like serious music more in this like state of life. But I think I was meant to like go through this like iteration of my life, like doing music comedically and like entertaining people in a way that's like more like fun for a while. And then like to like realize who I am and then like have something to say in music as opposed to just like, I want to sing. I don't know what about. I'm just going to go up there.
Yeah. Like a stand-up set is definitely different than doing like an act, like not like a music act.
Yeah.
You just have to say the lyrics and get the chords right. But the audience for the stand-up is like, it's more unique, I think.
Yeah. I think you have to connect with the crowd. And I think I learned a really good skill from stand-up is being present, connecting with them, getting them to really understand what you're trying to say, because they can't laugh at a joke if they don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Whereas music, I think back then I could have just gone on, done the song and not really know if it's connecting. And now like realizing like, oh, there's certain ways to like connect and have that emotion. And I think I learned that through doing stand-up for 10 years. So.
Yeah.
I'll answer one more question because this came up like 3 times. Everyone keeps asking like, what's the worst and best thing about being Filipino in the US?
Oh, interesting.
Because I wonder why everyone's asking that. But I'll say this, I'll preface it with like, I'm just like one experience. You know, I don't have the answer for what's the best and worst for other people. But I'll start like positive, I guess, is like, we are starting to get more recognition right now for like talents. Like there's more singers, dancers, musicians that are like blown up. Like her, Olivia Rodrigo's part Filipino.
Is her Filipino?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's part Filipino.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
And so we're like starting to get more recognition. The worst things? That's a tough. I think more so like, there was a time where Filipinos were more so like a culture that nobody knew about. Like you had to explain it to people what it was. And then they would assume like general Asian stereotypes that didn't really fit your culture. So you'd be like, what? I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
It would be like maybe more so like a Chinese, Japanese, or Korean stereotype.
If someone were to say that you were Asian.
People couldn't even be racist to you the right way. Like they would give you a stereotype that's not even your culture, and then you just be like, "All right, I'm kind of mad, but it's also like,
where are your chopsticks?"
Yeah, like dude, I literally eat with a spoon and fork, like my whole life, and I'd be like bad at chopsticks. Like, wow, you're a bad Asian. It was like it's literally not in my culture.
Yeah,
yeah. Maybe that was the worst part growing up, but like the best thing now, dude. There's so much of like Filipino culture is so dope. Like they're so funny, so outgoing, so charismatic. Like to make sure others are having a good time. Pretty suave. Like I've met like a lot of suave Filipinos, and like, yeah, just it's a dope culture.
That is true. That when you said making sure people are having a good time, that people like Filipinos are considerate of the guests that they invite to things. You know, I like that. Not to say that, you know, other cultures aren't, but Filipinos are really like pressure. They feel the pressure or the guilt to like make sure like, hey, you know, you have a good time, or, you know, do you want some more food or whatever? I feel that a lot.
Definitely.
You know?
Totally. Yeah. It's where it's, there's even like you can major in hospitality in the Philippines.
The Filipino like standard these days.
Yeah. People in the Philippines, they major in hospitality and then go into the hotel or like cruise businesses.
Hotel, cruise, nurse. culinary.
Well, it makes sense when you think about it because so they're thinking about their economy, and so much of the Philippine economy is OFW, overseas foreign workers.
It's true.
Sending money back home. And a lot of them are doing hotel industry or cruise industry. So it makes sense to then continue to educate people on how to get those jobs.
Yeah.
Should we do some musical stuff?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, dude, there's so many questions. Oh yeah, the one I was going to talk about was like, I'm still not to like share that thing. I'm still like getting used to people sliding in my DMs all the time. So like, when I asked this question thing, I'm like getting just questions, but it was like so many people were asking if I was single. One dude was asking if I was gay or bi. Didn't even leave an option for straight. Just like
those are the two options you have.
Just being very hopeful. Yeah. And then some girl asked me to marry her on there. I wonder how that must be for like girls, because they must get that stuff all the time, like nonstop if they're out in the public. But I'm still getting used to that as like a dude. So
yeah, sing about that.
Yeah, we had this emotional.
Very. Yeah, like it sucks.
Yeah. So many people just see me as a piece of meat and an uncircumcised dick. I'm more than just a dick with a foreskin. I'm a foreman. I'm a foreman. Whoa, this is powerful.
Ooh.
Whoa. So, what else is in there, Ronnie? What should we talk about in there?
Did you say foreman or floor man?
Foreman, like a foreskin, but a foreman.
I was gonna say, like, I'm a floor man.
You know, the best thing about having, the best thing about having a foreskin is like I have layers that you have to peel back to really get to know me.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's deep. Peeling back the layers of my foreskin to find out who I am within. Wow, dude, this is real.
Oh my god,
this felt good.
Yeah. What other genres can you do on the guitar?
I can do something like Spanish, folky, reggae a little bit. Like reggae is just, as long as you make the like.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Oh. You have to make a sound, something like. And then what's like a word like Babylon?
Yeah.
Babylon. Holy Mount Zion.
Yeah.
You have to talk about Zion, right?
Zion.
Yeah. And struggles.
Struggles. And
specifically
then, but
oppression.
Happy.
Yeah. Oppression. But everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Yeah. What's a good you know, the Philippines loves reggae. Like,
yeah, they do.
When I was first traveling out there, I remember everywhere I'd go, like reggae would be accepted.
Yeah.
And there is something of like, it's like no matter what you have, like you're cool with it. It's like I was in Bohol and during the earthquake, and there'd be people whose like houses were destroyed, and they'd be like so fucking chill about it. They'd be like, yeah, you know, sometimes your house gets destroyed. And I was like, no, I don't think that's so. Reggae has that kind of thing where it's like, no matter what happens, what you don't have or have, they're like, chill. It's like, let's see. Oh, hurricane destroyed my house. That's okay. I don't know. Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah. I can't do this, so sad. It's like,
like irreversible, horrible things.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I lost my legs, lost my hands. I lost my wife. Oh, everything gonna be alright.
Like, dude, no.
Oh man, yeah.
No, dude.
The cops came, said that I haven't paid my taxes. Everything gonna be alright. Yeah, man. No, it's not okay.
No.
You're going to prison for
Dude.
life, man.
Yeah, it's like I've been drinking for like a month straight.
Yeah. Oh, they say I have alcohol problem and I'm going to prison for life. I'll never see my kids again. Everything gonna be alright. Hey, ain't a care in the world. Dude, you should probably fight that in court.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be alright.
Hey, man.
The beach is all I need. Yeah, just me and my margarita girl. Yo, dude, yeah, no, you can't stay at the beach like all the time.
Yeah.
That can't be like the only thing you do. You should probably
Plus, she's like extorting like thousands of dollars from you.
gonna be alright. Like you see the guy playing that song, like those are the same shorts he's been wearing for like 5 years. You know?
Yeah.
Like the
It's
reggae.
like everybody who sees that guy is like, oh, that makes me feel good. Like, you know, he can live. But I would never want to be that guy.
It's crazy. In some fantasies, I was that guy. I wanted to be that guy because when I did the van life thing, but also I was like farming in Hawaii. When I say the guy was wearing the same shorts for the 5 years, it's because that was me. I was wearing these same like cut off jean shorts like all year in Hawaii, and dude, I fucking loved it. It was so great.
I mean, that sounds pretty great though.
I don't know if we should answer some more questions and come up with songs to each question.
Yeah, why don't we try that?
I'm new to your platform, so my question is, will you be releasing songs and will you collab with small artists? It sounds like she wants to collab together. I think that's what she's like. Will you collab with other artists? No, I'm just kidding. No, this is Alyssa.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But hey, everything gonna be alright. I would put out music on like Spotify or something. Like put out some more songs.
Yeah.
All right. Another question. Let's do
a different genre.
Do you have a request of genre?
Like a grunge.
Let's see. Like something like that.
Yeah. Aggressive, yeah.
Okay, so this one is, what's your biggest deal breaker in a relationship? If a girl cheats on me, that pretty much is done.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess a pretty healthy one. What is your favorite Filipino food? I can do my favorite Filipino food. New genre.
Do you know Creed?
Oh yeah. Is Creed like, can you take me higher?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Like ballady?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like everything has an R?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This one goes out to Sinigang.
Oh.
Sinigang.
Synagog's good.
Sinigang with pork, sinigang with fish. I love all of it. Sinigang. Sinigang. You can't go wrong with sinigang. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Synagog's great.
Yeah, dude. Sinigang, I think, is my favorite. Pork sinigang, especially.
Tinola is probably one of my favorites. Tinola.
Yeah, dude. We make some badass soups in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Tinola is like my go-to when I'm sick. It's like with you. Like, do you have like ginger in tinola? Right?
Yeah.
A lot of ginger. Yeah, it's so good.
Potato.
How to know love. Yeah. When I'm sick or when I'm healthy, I need to know love. Yeah. I need to know love. There's a lot of her.
Yeah.
I need to know love.
For some reason, there's so much power in that. I don't know.
Dude, it is power. It's like an anthem to like the soups.
Yeah.
Filipino soups. Yeah, yeah. All I need is some soup to know love. All I need is soup to get to know you.
There's like 10 songs in the Philippines that they just will not stop playing forever. And
which
one of them
Creed
is
song?
Creed's.
Which one's the Creed song?
There's two. It's with arms wide open.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the best.
That one.
Arms
and,
wide open.
and One Last Breath. You know that one? It goes like, hear me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking. You know that?
I don't think I know that. I feel like I do, but I forget. The one I know the best is, will you take me higher?
Yeah,
that's
a good
the one, dude.
Higher. You know, I was in a hockey team when I was like really young. This is after the circumcision, and I used to skate at the mall.
Pre-circumcision, yeah.
Yeah, pre-circumcision, yeah. And they would always play Creed at the skating rink. And it was such not skating music, but it made skating so much more emotional.
Dude, yeah.
So majestic.
Yeah, it's weird to like how much music affects things. Like when I'm jogging, like if I'm listening to like Creed or something like that, my run becomes so much more like emotional.
This is more for just me.
There's like hip hop and it's like, yeah, dude, I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Then Creed, it's like, I give a fuck. I give a fuck, man. This run. I give a mighty fuck. I give a mighty fuck. How can it take me higher? Oh, thoughts on half-Filipinos, Ronnie? This is a good one. You take this one away, Ron. Well, I guess I can speak on it, and then I want to.
Wait, is the question just thoughts on half-Filipinos?
Yeah, this is from Neon Khaki.
What's your opinion on half-Filipinos? Should we get rid of them?
That's legit what it says. It doesn't say get rid of them, but it's like, yeah, opinions on them like it's some kind of species. I love half-Filipinos. It's great. There was a time where I wanted to be half-Filipino. I was like, dude, I wish I was half-Filipino. Because it's like, half-Filipinos are all like the actors in the industry, in the Filipino industry. So I was like, oh, that'd be dope.
Philippines, yeah.
But I think they're cool. Can you make me wider? How do you feel about being half Filipino?
Yeah, I think I've talked about this on this podcast, but my experience of being biracial and half Filipino is really weird because growing up in I think I've said this, but growing up in the Philippines, everyone thought I was white as could be. You know, oh, he's just another white guy. He's the white guy. And then moving to the States, it's like, what are you? And oh, apparently I'm not white. Or also I don't really like, it's hard for me to mingle in white circles or whatever. So I've always kind of been a fish out of water in that. But I think it's interesting. It's like a different perspective.
Yeah.
I like it. Also, I feel like we should all be fucking outside of a race. That we should all just be beige.
Evolving.
We should be, making beige babies.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone is not mixed. I don't think that exists. But
we should keep doing
even
it.
more. More. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm doing. I'm out there, dude.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm out there mixing it up. All right. Well, I guess, should we start wrapping it up now?
Yeah. Probably.
Guys, thank you for experimenting with us on this podcast episode. Just, we don't, where I don't have any of my gear and I'm doing this out of my friend's studio. But it's been fun. I feel like we got to talk more on this one because of that.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Sure.
That's dope.
Yeah. And I like that we got a lot of the audience involved with the questions and stuff.
Yeah. I think maybe if we, we'll talk about it after the pod. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it's a fun thing to incorporate.
Guys, if you like it, speak up.
Check us out on all the socials, Bits and Beats Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. And they got full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Bits and Beats. So go check it out for the exclusive content. Anything else? Should we do that thing where we kind of talk about a controversial subject and cut it out before it gets too controversial? Let's start with the letter A. I don't know, abortions, Afghanistan. You could go so many different angles with it, you know?
Texas
banned abortions. I didn't even know they were cooking that up. It seems like it came up out of the blue.